Alright, what's up, y'all? I'm going to talk to you about training in Thailand and how to train in Thailand, how to get to Thailand from at least America, what to do before you get here, how to get into a routine, and all of that good stuff. I'm going to try to do it pretty quick. So, depending on where you are, if it's in America, there's not going to be a direct flight. You need to go take a layover in Qatar or South Korea and then fly into wherever you want, either Bangkok or Phuket. That is going to be your most expensive cost on your entire Thai trip, is the flight getting here. Once you get here, everything else is relatively quite easy. You really don't need to book in advance if you're bad at planning. You could just do things on the fly and book it because it's relatively cheap out here. That being said, when you do land at the airport, you should get an eSIM from AIS. It's the green one, so that you have unlimited service. Do that. And then, depending on where you train, if it's in Bangkok, if it's in Phuket, Koh Phangan, Koh Samui, you get there, you set up, you pay, and from there, the structure is as follows. If you want the most strict, traditional Muay Thai routine, you're going to be running in the morning, you're going to be training in the morning, and then you're going to have a break, and then you might run again, and then you're going to train again. But you're definitely training 2 times a day, running minimum once. And whatever your goal is, that is what you're working towards. Build your daily routine around recovery and rest and nutrition, as well as allowing the time you have out here to, I don't want to be too woo-woo and spiritual about it, but actually allow yourself to try to grow and maybe experience some feelings that you weren't allowing yourself to go through during the normal daily life wherever you were living. I'm just going to use America, for example. If you're in Europe, it's a different story. If you're in Paris, there's a direct flight to Bangkok, and once you're here, it's obviously the same situation. But yeah, you find gyms. This is probably the biggest question. How did you find the gym that you go to? Do your own research, pretty much. Where do you want to be? You start with that. And then there are countless amounts of influencers now on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok who go around simply to just show other people gyms, and they go and work out at other gyms. So you do that. If you really want to fight, you're going to want to stay at a gym for a bit after maybe trying a couple, and you let the coaches know that your goal is to step into the ring, and they'll make sure hopefully they'll make sure you're ready when it is time. But yeah, you train 5 or 6 days a week. I would say in the beginning, to get acclimated to the training volume, because it is a lot. Don't train twice a day, every day. Make sure you're staying very hydrated, eating all your proper nutrition, macros, protein in specific, carbs. Honestly, I would stay away from the fats. You do need your good daily fats, but if you're gonna tier list your macros while you're out in Thailand, sweating a lot and working out all the time, I would honestly say carbs, proteins, and then fats. Whereas I'm usually a proteins, carbs, fats person. You need that quick energy, and before your trainings, you're gonna wanna get some of these to have in your hotel, or if you're staying at the gym, in your room. These electrolyte packages, absolutely necessary, because just water is not going to cut it. So yeah, I've done multiple locations. I've trained in a very traditional almost spiritual sort of way in the northeast of Thailand, which is kind of remote, in this area called eSIM. I've tried two gyms in Koh Samui, which are probably my favorite. I've tried 2 gyms in Phuket, and all of this training together probably has added up to about 3 months of training, almost, maybe 2.5 months of training, and I've had 2 Muay Thai fights and 2 MMA fights. I'm still debating on what I want to, really focus on, but yeah. I'm wondering if there are any other off the top of my head questions that I'm probably missing. Oh, transportation. You're going to want to download an app called Grab. It's going to get you your taxis or your Grab bikes. Grab bikes are just the mopeds, and you sit on the back, and in the beginning you're going to want to hold on because you're not going to feel secure, and they go really fast, and it's kind of dangerous. And sometimes you hit bumps and you think you're going to fly off, but you won't. Just be confident, hold yourself down. It's my preferred way of transportation, just because they do weave in and out of the cars, and there's just hella traffic everywhere all the time. It's crazy. So yeah, that's how you train in Thailand. You can also reach out to them on Instagram and then book on their website if you don't want to do the run and gun type of thing. That's the easiest way to do it. Especially if you're going to stay at the gym, because you need to make sure there's accommodations available. And that's another thing. If you do want a gym with accommodations, or if you want to stay down the street at a hotel or something like that, yeah. That is pretty much all I got.